welcome back to my Kiwi Marathon Mindset running channel. I just wanted to do a video today. We'll do it inside because outside it's going to be about 35 degrees today, so it's pretty hot. So rather than sit out there in the heat, I thought I'd do it inside. Anyway, as a coach, one of the things I get asked quite often is what sort of a warm-up do you do before a marathon? What do you do? How long for? So on and so forth, all the questions that go with it. Now, I've run 42 marathons. 41 of those have been competitive. The other one we were trying to help somebody to get around in under 3 hours. We were running with them, but that's a different story. But those 41 competitive marathons that I've run have all had to have something of a warm-up beforehand. And I've run London now 11 times. And the reason I'm saying this is because each time we've run London, I've had a championship start. And so we are literally placed just behind the elite runners. So before we go out and do our warm-up, they do theirs. So I've been lucky enough to be able to watch the likes of Sammy Wanjiru, God rest his soul, Eliud Kipchoge, Mo Farah, warming up just over here on a stretcher road, which we were going to use after them, or we use after them. So I was interested to see what they do. And on the stretcher road, all they did was just jog up and down, up and down, and up and down, just keeping the cadence, the leg turn over there, and they kept going up and down and up and down. Nothing too strenuous, nothing too stressful, just running up and down. And I took notice of that. Now, I'm not saying they didn't do something else of a warm-up too. They might have done their dynamics or whatever, dynamic stretches. But I took notice of that and I thought, you know what, that's probably just about good enough. You're running a marathon, it's 26.2 miles, it's a long way to run. So again, also depending on the weather conditions, because London, even Berlin, they can be hot. I've run hottest London I've run was 24.1 degrees or something, so that's pretty warm to be running a marathon in. So I did a warm up but kept it at a minimum. So just go by your conditions as well and the variables. So to me, before a marathon, there's two types of stretches you can do. This is just the way I look at it as a coach. You can do your dynamic stretching, or you can just run, just jog, run. Now, your dynamic stretching, as most of you will probably know, are arm swings, leg swings, hops, skips, jumps, and all that. Yeah, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that, and I've done that many times, but perhaps more so in lesser distances. If you're running 5 or 10 Ks or even half marathons, but certainly the quicker, faster distances, a proper warm-up like that is imperative. You do your dynamic stretches. But before a marathon, I don't think it matters too much. The benefits you'll get from doing running, jogging up and down the stretcher road or whatever it is you got near you, just 5 or 10 minutes jogging up and down, running up and down will probably tick all the boxes that dynamic stretches will tick pre-marathon. The idea of dynamic stretches is to lubricate your muscles. There's a neural factor to it. It helps the brain to find the muscles and all that, and you get the messages going to and from the brain. It gets quite technical, but basically you're lubricating your muscles, you're warming yourself up, you're getting your heart rate up. That's fine. But I think most of that will happen too by just doing a running type warm-up. It's about 100 metres, a couple of 100 metres of road before London. So we just use that, just to run up and down. You'll find most of the people are just doing that. They're running up and down, up and down, up and down for 5 to 10 minutes before the race actually starts. Some people will be doing a proper full-on warm-up, that's fine. I don't think it matters too much personally as a coach which one you do. But like I said before, just bear in mind the conditions. If it's really, really hot, you don't want to be going out there doing a real regimented full-on warm-up. So just running will be fine. I can leave it up to you. Either one is okay, but I find that after watching the elite runners and doing what they did and just jogging, just running, was as good as doing a dynamic stretching warm-up. So you please yourself and do whatever you think's best. I've done both, and having done both, my times on my marathons have not been affected at all. They've been what I more or less would expect to get. So if it's a bit of a colder day, perhaps do some dynamics, but if it's a hot day, just jog, just run. That's all you need to do. So I hope that makes it a little bit clearer for anybody that doesn't know what to do before a marathon. Either one's fine, but just go with the conditions. So I would be pretty happy for anybody to do either. Personally now, getting a bit older too, I'm quite happy just to jog up and down and warm myself up that way. My heart rate is still going to be up, my muscles are still going to be lubricated. So you choose, but just go with the conditions. One final thing I want to say here too is that static stretching often comes up in conversation. I still see people now touching their toes, lifting up their heel behind their backside and stretching their quads and all this sort of stuff. Don't do it. That is for after the race when your muscles are flexible, malleable and warmed up. If you do it beforehand, you're going to reduce the elasticity and the responsiveness of your muscles, and you're going to increase the injury risk. Now, the old way I used to get told many years ago that it increases the risk by about 33%. And it came from a pretty good source, and I can't at the moment off the top of my head remember which coaching manual it came from, but I thought, well, that puts it into perspective. Now, I think the jury may be out on that one a little bit now, but the bottom line here is that if you do static stretching before any race, you will increase the injury risk. So don't do that. Save that for after. Dynamic stretches, jogging up and down, running up and down, a stretch of road or piece of grass, whatever, fine. So I hope that makes sense. And if you've enjoyed this little video I've done, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, because there's plenty more where this came from. In a few days' time, we will go out on the road, and I've got as I said before, a precursor to what could be a really effective training regimen for marathon running. Thanks for watching.